Hi, I'm Mike Noon. I'm an NLP trainer. I'm a master practitioner. I'm an Ericksonian hypnotherapist. I'm a timeline therapist. I'm also a transpersonal counsellor and a psychotherapist. So, what I want to talk to you about today is about how you can market your business here in the 21st century. And before I tell you that, I'd like to give you a little bit of background on why I went down this route instead of the one that most people would have expected. I ran a transpersonal counselling practice in London, in Croydon, for around about 12 years. And when I came across NLP here in New Zealand, I was just blown away with how rapidly and how easily I could bring about changes in people's lives. And then I did my master prac up in Auckland in the rowing club there on Lake Pupuki. And Richard Bolstad said something to me that really stuck. What he said was, words to the effect of, until such times as NLP is as well known as Ford or Toyota or Mitsubishi, we're not going to be as effective as we can be and would like to be in the world. And I've thought about that. And so I speak to a lot of people. I'm quite a gregarious person. I'm kind of extrovert as well as introvert. And so about 2 or 3 months back, I went down to Queensgate Shopping Mall here in Lower Hutt. And I asked around about 100 people, what do you know about NLP? And the majority of them gave this kind of blank look. They kind of, what? A few told me it's the new Labour Party, but I had to inform them the new Labour Party actually got put out of its misery, got put down about 10 years ago. And there was a couple who had heard of NLP, but they couldn't explain in clear terms what it is, what it does, where it can be used. Then I asked them a second question. What do you know about Kung Fu? Well, the difference. It was a Chinese martial art. It originated in Zhangdu province, what it was. It was a 1974 television series starring David Carradine. And it was about him wandering through the American West back at the turn of the end of the 1800s. You know, karate chopping people and all this sort of stuff. And I thought, this is interesting. What's the difference? And the difference is down to one thing and one thing only, and that's marketing, or in NLP's case, to be more precise, the lack of it. And I want to just take you through a couple of things in this little introductory video that I hope are going to get you thinking about how you're marketing your business and how other people are marketing theirs. Because at the moment, what's occurring is, here in New Zealand anyway, and I suspect in most other westernised countries, people are fighting for positions on page 1 of Google or Yahoo or MSN, Bing, whatever you want to call it. Because the thing is, because of the amount of information that is available to people now and the number of different ways they can access it through a myriad variety of mobile devices, very few people go past page 1 anymore. Very few of them. So, what does this mean to you? Well, currently there is something in the region of 4 trillion, with a T, pages indexed on Google. That is a phenomenal amount of information. And here's the thing. Google has only got about 12% of all the content on the internet in its index. So that tells you the real figure is somewhere around about 60, maybe 80 trillion pages of content. It's said that it's kind of a 1950s marketing aphorism, but build a better mousetrap and you have a world's going to beat a path to your door. That may be true, if they can find your door. Because when I first started out on the internet around about 2002, I was using some very clunky software called SiteCell, and I had to build every aspect of the page into separate blocks. There was a headline block and a subhead block and a text block. If I wanted to put a link in, I had to put in a link block. At that time, my coach sort of advised me not to compete with any pages that had more than 2,000 pages of competition. That was considered to be really, really competitive. Now, I consider moderately competitive to be 50 to 100 million pages. And you can tackle that sort of competition. But that's not the point. Because people are seeing about 10,000 advertisements and sales messages every single day of their life, between stuff they see in shops and cafes, on the side of vans, billboards, TV, radio, internet, pop-ups, Google ads, sidebar ads. We're bombarded. And as a result, we filter that out. We distort, we delete, and we generalise it all as being crap that's trying to sell us stuff. So you've got to do it somewhat differently. And one of my friends and colleagues here in Wellington, a guy called Mark Cross, said something I found quite interesting back in the middle of last year, 2011 that is. He said the reason that he wasn't starting an NLP practice was because he saw that NLP was just going to become commoditized. And I thought that was really interesting, because Mark is actually very, very good at what he does. And to a large extent he's true, because if you want to do some research for a paper you're writing on NLP, do you have to go to the library? Well, you could, or you could just Google it. And you can go to any one, probably 150, 200, 300 different sources and get good, academically credible information on NLP. That'll take you 5-10 minutes. You can even set up a Google search filter to find it for you, and it'll deliver it all into your email inbox. Doesn't get much easier than that. So, the point I'm making here is that you're no longer selling NLP. You're selling you. You are the product. And to do that, you have to establish your credibility and your authority in your field, whether that's a technical field of expertise, such as maybe timeline therapy or depression or parts integration or addictions or consultancy. And you have to be able to convey that to your clients in just such a way that they know, like and trust you. The days of a destination website, your .com, are gone. They went out the window with Google's Penguin update earlier on this year. Days of a destination website are gone. What I've done is I've created a series of 20 or so videos for you that are going to take you step by step through the issues, the challenges that you're facing now, and also the challenges that you're likely to face in the next 12 months to 2 years. There's a lot of factors. So, to get access to these, just put your name and your email address in the boxes. I don't know if they're on the side here or if they're underneath, but there's boxes on this page. Enter your name and your email address, and you're going to get instant access to these 20 videos. And I would strongly encourage you to do this, because what I'm going to be teaching people in the workshop I'm running on March 1st down in Christchurch is going to change all of the rules around how people market their NLP business. And whether you get on board with it or not, that's entirely up to you. But the thing is, the world is changing, and you need to have the sensory acuity to be aware of that. You need to have the behavioural flexibility to be able to move with the times, and you need to take action. And you may recognise those as 3 of the 5 keys to success. So, I look forward to seeing you on the other side. This is Mike Noon, signing off.